Hey guys, it's Mark from Hallmark Pool Supplies. I'm here today to talk to you about general filter operation. There are a lot of different filters on the market, such as sand, DE, cartridge, but today we're going to talk about sand systems and how they operate, and I want to show you a few things. In front of me here I have a Hayward top mount filter, and we're going to dive right into it and show you how to operate and go over the procedures on basic filtration. Okay, when we talk about basic filter operation, up here we have the multiport, and this is, like I said before, a top mount filter. We have basically filter, we're going to have backwash, and we're going to have rinse. These are your three main positions, but we're going to cover all of them and explain exactly what each one does and how to operate. So as we run in filter, basically what we have, if we step down and look, you've got a skimmer line, a drain line, the water's coming in from the pool, going through the pump, going up through your plumbing, and what it's doing is actually in filter mode, it's spraying the water out of the multiport, it sifts through the sand, the water goes then through the laterals, and then the clean water goes back up the pipe and then returns back to the pool. And that's how the water is running when it's in filter. So up here on top of the multiport, we have a pressure gauge. The gauge is there to indicate what pressure we have so we know when to backwash and rinse the pool. All gauges are going to read a little bit off. I can put several gauges on this system and they're all going to fluctuate. It's not 100% accurate, but it does give us an indication when we need to backwash. Pressures in pools will vary depending on the size filter you have, the size pump, how many returns you have in the pool. All of this plays a part in regards to how much pressure your pool will have. And so what we want to do is we want to backwash, rinse the system, and put it in filter. And whatever the pressure is at that point, as long as the gauge is working properly, that is our starting pressure. And in this case, for this demonstration, we're going to say this tank is running about 15 to 16 pounds of pressure. So most manufacturers will tell you when the pressure exceeds 6 to 8 pounds over normal operating pressure is when we need to backwash. So we're just going to say that at this point the pressure is up, we know we need to backwash it. The first thing we want to do is we want to turn the pump off. You never rotate this handle or move this handle with the system running. So we turn the pump off and we rotate to what's called backwash. We always want to rotate in a clockwise motion. For an example, let's say I was going to backwash and I accidentally passed it. You don't want to go back. You want to actually go all the way around again and then go back to backwash. Rotate this in one direction only. It is for better wear inside the multiport. Once we have it on backwash, we will then turn the pump on and we will let the system run for at least 1 minute. Now, when it's in the backwash mode, let's step down and I'm gonna show you what happens. When it's in the backwash mode, the water is coming through as before, going through, and instead of spraying out like it does in filter mode, the water now runs through the pipe and goes in reverse and comes up this way, and we're sifting the water and the dirt and the debris through the sand, and automatically it then goes up and goes out your backwash line. And so the filter is running in the opposite direction because we're flushing the sand out. So we're in backwash, 1 minute's passed, we turn the system off, and now we're gonna rotate clockwise to rinse. And once we're in the rinse position, then we're able to turn the pump back on. And at this point, we wanna rinse it for about 30 seconds. And in the rinse position, this is the way the water is traveling through the system. Water here again comes through from the pool, up the pipe. It then goes through just as it does in filter and sprays out, sifts through the sand, goes back up, comes up, but instead of going back to the pool, it's going out of the backwash. The rinse is basically just rinsing out the murky water that the backwash has broke up while you were backwashing. So after 30 seconds, we turn the pump off, we rotate the handle clockwise, back to filter. We were able now to turn it on, pressure is down, we're good to go. Now let's just say hypothetically that we did the backwash and the rinse and the pressure came down, but it's still high. What does that tell us? That tells us that we need to backwash and rinse it again or a little bit longer. When I backwash and rinse a system out of habit, I always go back and backwash and rinse again. I always repeat it back to back just to make sure that the tank has got a thorough clean. It doesn't hurt anything. It just assures us that the filter is clean and we're ready to go. Now, when we backwash or rinse, we have what's called a sight glass, as you can see here. And as we're backwashing or rinsing, you will see the dirty water as it's going through the sight glass, leaving the pool. And this is a sight indicator, just letting us know how dirty the system really is. Like I said, you backwash for a minute, you rinse for 30 seconds, or in some cases you backwash and rinse until the sight glass becomes clear. Here again, this is a visual reference, and once we're done, if it's not clean enough or the pressure's still high, we can just backwash and rinse it again until we get it right where we want it. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to backwash the system every day or several times a week. That's too much. And we don't want to backwash the system once a month. That's not enough, especially during the swimming season. The average backwashing on an average pool would be about every 7 to 10 days. So you have to basically check it. In this way, if you see that it needs to be backwashed, go ahead and backwash. If it doesn't, you can let it run a little bit longer and backwash it a few days later. Another thing you don't want to do is you don't want to backwash within 24 hours after adding chemicals. If you have to go home and add chemicals to your pool, make sure that the system is clean, you've got good pressure, and it's running good before adding chemicals. If adding chemicals 24 hours or several days later you need to backwash, that's fine. Just don't backwash within 24 hours after adding the chemicals, because you're not going to do the pool any justice. You want to make sure that that system is running clean and then add your chemicals, and if you need to backwash at a later time, that's fine. Just don't do it within the same 24 hours. Now let's just say that you have a pressure gauge that's broke, it's not reading properly, doesn't work, or let's say you don't even have a pressure gauge. How would one know that we need to backwash this? We definitely don't want to come out and just backwash it and guess. What we can do is we can go to the pool as a visual reference, and if you look at the returns in your pool and you see that your return is running weak, that's an indication that it's time to backwash. Once you've backwashed and rinsed the system and you go to your pool and you see the returns running strong, then you know you've got a good clean system, you've got good pressure, and everything's flowing the way it's supposed to be. At this point, we have talked about filter, backwash, and rinse. Like I said, those are your three main positions. The next position over from filter is what's called waste. What is waste and what does it do? When we put the system on waste and turn the pump on, the water is coming from the pool, through the pump, going through the multiport and directly out your backwash. We are bypassing the filter. Water is now no longer going through the filter, and one of the main reasons we would use waste is if there was a rainstorm or someone left the garden hose in the pool and overfilled the pool and we needed to lower the water level. It is a quick way of us lowering the water level. When you put it on waste, you do not want to go back in the house. You want to stay out here with the system because the water is traveling much faster because it's not going through the tank, and the water level will go down. Once we get to the correct water level, we'll be able to turn off the system and put it back in filter, and you're good to go. There is another reason we would also use waste. For an example, if a pool was extremely dirty and we were vacuuming and it was just putting all that debris in the filter, and you don't want to backwash and rinse 100 times while you're trying to clean a dirty pool, we can put it on waste and it will automatically take that dirty water and debris right out the backwash. It doesn't affect the filter. This way we're able to suck all the debris out and clean the pool much quicker. However, when one vacuums in waste, you may have to stop, add some water to the pool, and then continue vacuuming because, like I said, the water does go out very quickly. That's another reason you would be using waste if you didn't want to put all the debris and dirt into a filter. Most of the time when you vacuum, you will vacuum in the filter position, but this is only pertaining to people that have pools that are extremely dirty. Then you would use the waste feature. We have another position here, it's called winter. And if I put it in winter, that is in a non-groove position as you see. If I do this, if I do this, or if I do this, It's basically the same thing. What we're doing is we're lifting the diverter up so that this way, if we're going to drain the equipment for the winter time, if you're covering the pool, you would put it on winter, and when it's on the winter position or a non-groove position, you would not be running the pump, and that's how you shut your pool down. As far as winterization, vacuuming, changing sand, there will be other videos pertaining to those issues. This is just basic filter operation, and so at this point in time, winter is for those that are winterizing their pool. Some people keep their pool open year round and don't even use that position. It just depends on if you're going to open it and leave it open, or if you're going to close the pool and shut it down. At this point in time, there's a position called closed. When we put it in closed, we definitely do not want to run the pump. What we're doing now is we're locking everything, and closed in most cases is so that we can service and work on the unit and not have to worry about getting wet, and that is just a way we can shut our lines down so that we can service the filter system. Here again, it's not a position that's going to be used very often, but that is what closed is. We have another position here called recirculate, and this is the last position. When we put the system on recirculate, what's happening is the water is coming from the pools, going through the pump, goes up through the multiport, and then automatically turns around and goes back through the return. It is not going into the filter. We're bypassing the filter. Recirculate is for people that live way up north. If they want to drain their equipment but keep the pool running, they can do so by leaving it in recirculate. This allows them to circulate water in the pool, but we're not filtering it because we've drained the equipment. Recirculate can also be used when adding chemicals. Sometimes certain chemicals they will tell you to add to the pool if it's running in filter. Sometimes they'll tell you to add chemicals to the pool and put it in recirculate. And if they're asking you to do that, this is the position you would use. And once we're done, then we'll be able to turn off the pump and then put it back in filter and then turn it back on. Basically, we have covered the basic general operation of the multiport. Like I said, filter, backwash, and rinse are the main positions. The other positions, you now know what they are, what they do, even though they're not used that often. This is just a general guideline of how to operate a sand system for your pool. And hopefully you guys found this video to be helpful. And if you have any questions that you would like to see us make a video on, comment down below or email us. We will be glad to help. And remember to visit Hallmark Pool Supplies for all your pool needs. And as always, my name is Mark. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next video.